So tell us the original idea for the film and where that came from.
Well, I had seen this image of a dead cow in a convenience store. I think it happened in Germany. Like the cow that's the cows were on their way to like the slaughterhouse, and the truck like overturned, and the cow escaped and made its way into a convenience store, and then the police had to come and kill it for whatever reason. But so it was really just that image of the cow in there, and that just started my brain going. And I was like, okay, like maybe the cow, could have come from somewhere else, and maybe it traveled across like space and time to get here. And then I just sort of like, wanted to write something that was spiritual and meaningful to me, but also kind of funny and irreverent and ridiculous. Yeah.
What is it about a project with disappearing cows and pregnant nuns that made it a logical progression from what you've done before?
The fact that it's not logical at all is really exciting to me. I'm a big fan of David Lynch, so when I read Eli's short script, I was like, this is really thoughtful. This makes me, and it makes me think, and I'm like, I don't quite get it, but he's gonna make it make sense when he shoots it, and I don't know. I like everything that's wrong about it, and that's question that you start to question everything. I love movies where I leave and I'm like, what? And that script made me feel that way. So
I have followed Eli since the day I met him. He's been making all these brilliant shorts forever, and the first time I saw one of his, I said, whatever you're doing next, I'm working on it.
And was this next, or did this come a bit further down the line?
It took some time. We've done a few things together. We've also been. I'm in New York. He used to live in LA, so there's a lot of back and forth. But this was the first big thing that we've done together.
The scenes that were shot up in I think it was upstate New York,
right,
and then out towards LA. How did that present different problems for you?
Well, there were different natured shoots. So upstate New York was a lot of voiceover and a very extremely talented actress, and it was a different kind of a much more contained shoot. And then the Texas sequence was multiple actors and extras and a lot of dialogue, so we had to approach it much differently with a much bigger footprint in LA. So we lucked out though with a really good crew. So I think they both had their own difficulties, but fun in their own ways as well.
It's all about people in responding to extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah,
I mean, whereabouts did that come from for you?
I don't know. I think it was like a reaction to some of my like earlier work. Like I feel like in college, everyone was so like overly like everyone in my scripts was so overly articulate, and they're like, "Wow, look at that miracle! It's so beautiful." But I wanted like just ordinary people at a gas station in Texas to just be experiencing like, the reemergence of like, the burning bush or something, and just having like,
Did you first connect with it as an actor or as the exec producer?
Oh, just as somebody who was going to help him make it, because we've been working together since he was 22, so it's been a while. And I don't know, I really respect him, and I really respect where his brain goes. We're really good at creating worlds, and we have the same kind of taste. So that's why when I read his script, I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. Like there's a fire in the middle of nowhere and no one knows why it's burning. This is really fucking cool. And there's a cow who just disappears out of nowhere, and you're like, but we need to know why. And I like trying to figure out what's going on in his brain.
In both locations we faked it. Upstate New York plays for Ireland, and way outside of Los Angeles in the desert plays for West Texas. So we stole a location from the UK. I apologize for that, but.
And is this an idea that you think is ideally suited to a short film, or would you like to take it and maybe build on it and do something even bigger?
Definitely a feature. Yeah, we've actually written the feature and we're developing now. So it's tough to watch the short sometimes for me because it's 15 minutes, and I'm like, I just want it to go on for another 90. But yeah, I definitely There's a lot of mystery in there, and I want to keep answering those questions, and yeah.
And do you find festivals like Raindance are a great place to meet collaborators like that and develop new projects?
Hell yeah. I mean, it's all about networking and all emerging filmmakers. Like, this day is really important, and I'm really glad that we're part of this day because Eli, especially as a young filmmaker, emerging filmmaker, he's been to Raindance every single day since he got here in London. Because he's obsessed. He's a filmmaker. He went to film school. This is his life, and every night he comes back and he's like, "Oh my God, I met these people on this crazy movie you'd never see." Because Raindance is finding these people that are doing something really interesting and giving us a platform, and us meaning Eli, a platform, and people are. Raindance is really highly regarded, and so it means a lot that we're here.
What is the appeal of short films to you? Because when the average public think of the blockbusters or maybe the kind of TV 52-minute slot, what is the appeal to you of doing a 15-minute film?
You can tell stories that, so there's two ways to do it. You can tell a story that itself isn't 90 minutes long or 120 minutes long, that's just a quick little thought or an emotion. Or the other thing you can do is you can sort of, for a lot less of an investment from a producer's perspective, you can tell a proof of concept of something that itself can go on to be a much longer story. And without having to get together the financing of an entire feature film, you can give a sample, basically, of what the director's capable of. And that's what we're doing with this.
And lastly, one quick question. You've got something coming up with Kevin Bacon,
Yeah, I'm
surely.
working on that right now.
Yeah, what can you tell us about that? Because it's based on the book, the German book originally.
Yeah, it's really scary. It's a psychological thriller for sure, but it deals with a marriage where something's just not quite right, and then they go to this house in Wales and it's just not quite right, and you're really not sure which way is up. And it's disorienting, and that's the shit that really gets me. And so when I read this, David Koepp's script, I was like, this is a slam dunk for me. I mean, just as an audience member. So it's going to be really good. We're going to Wales this week, and I'm so excited. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey